Hey everybody, VESTMORE here, and today we're taking another look at Legends of Runeterra. Because of the fairly unique way in which you earn cards in this game, of course with cards being gated, the meta is ever evolving. And as is the nature of card games, there are some cards which are better than others. So today I figured I'd bring you guys a quick little video that showcase 5 cards that I think stick out among the rest. Now, let me emphasize real quick, these are my top 5 cards. Now, you may agree with some, you may disagree with all of them, but I'm going to try and do my best to explain my choices so that hopefully you guys can understand at least where I'm coming from. Also, I should note that there's not going to be any champion cards on this list, as I feel honestly that could be a whole nother video. So if you guys would like to see that or more Legends of Runeterra content, definitely let me know in the comments down below. And of course, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like. Anyway, let's get started. So, jumping right into it, I'm going to talk about one of my favorite cards in this game, and that is Raza the Sunderer. This is an epic card from the Shadow Isles region. It's essentially a 7 mana 7/5 with Fearsome, which already is pretty good. However, the main thing that makes this card shine is its ability called Night Harvest. When you first play Raza, essentially what happens is he kills the 2 weakest enemies if an ally of yours has died this round. Now, in the case of Raza, the weakest enemies are the creatures that your opponent controls with the lowest power. So straight off the bat, this is pretty good. You play this big, beefy creature, and already, as soon as he drops onto the board, he's killed off 2 of your opponent's creatures as long as one of yours has died. This obviously synergizes quite well with the fact that Raza is a Shadow Isles card, and Shadow Isles decks tend to run ephemeral units or sacrifice mechanics, so it's usually pretty easy to set up situations where Raza's Night Harvest will come into play. Additionally, Raza does not discriminate. Assuming your opponent has, let's say, a Tryndamere out and a super buffed Braum even, if those are the only 2 units your opponent has, then technically they're still the 2 weakest enemies on the board, and as such, will die. The versatility of this card is honestly shocking. It's so good. You can literally play it at any point, and as long as A, your opponent has enemies on the field, and B, one of your creatures has died this turn, then there's honestly not much your opponent can do about it. And on top of that, as mentioned before, you get a big, beefy 7/5 fearsome boy. That's a pretty good deal to me. Of course, assuming you do want to do something about Raza, then this next card is for you. Coming in at number 2, we have a card that, honestly, a lot of the community, especially those who are newer to card games, are calling absolutely broken and OP. This is, of course, Deny. This is a rare spell card from the Ionia region that costs 3 mana. And when played, it essentially allows you to stop either a fast or slow spell or a skill, much like Raza's Night Harvest. This obviously doesn't stop burst spells, as those are instantaneous and cannot be interrupted. However, other than that, this is essentially a counterspell from Magic the Gathering. There are a ton of pivotal, super useful spells in this game that your opponent could be playing against you, and Deny essentially just shuts all of that down. The best part is, it's only 3 mana, so assuming you have 3 spell mana on hand, you can essentially play this for free. This also actually has a psychological effect on a knowledgeable opponent as well, because obviously if you have 3 spell mana and you've not used it for anything, they might in turn think that you have a Deny in hand, which might be just enough to deter them from playing their more pivotal spells. Obviously, while that's all well and good, this is a warning you should also heed as well. Currently, Deny is the only counterspell in the game, so if your opponent isn't running Ionia as a region, you don't have to worry about it. However, if they are, be wary. Coming in at number 3, we have Shadow Assassin. Now, this is a common card from Ionia. It's a 3 mana 2/2, but more importantly are its effects. First of all, it has the keyword elusive, which is one of the best keywords in this game, as it forces your opponent to either answer with an elusive unit of their own, or to use limited and costly removal on a pretty low mana card. On top of that, it also pays for itself by drawing your card when summoned. I strongly believe that any Ionia players out there should heavily consider adding this to all of their decks based on its value alone. Moving on to number 4, we have Shark Chariot. Now this is another card that a lot of people have deemed pretty OP, and honestly, in an ephemeral deck, it does numbers. It's essentially a 2 mana 3/1 that cannot block and is ephemeral. However, when any other ephemeral ally attacks and it's dead, you get to return it into play in an attacking position. Assuming you're playing an ephemeral heavy deck and you summon even one of these things, it gets super brutal for your opponent, because they either have the choice of blocking Shark Chariot, in which case it is essentially like a removal spell dealing 3 damage to any of their blockers, which will put a strain on their units as you're essentially getting free trades each turn, or they allow themselves to take 3 damage to the face, which does add up and will eventually kill them. This card honestly has so few hard counters, with the only one off the top of my head that I can think of being the Cleanse card. I believe it's called Purify, but yes, this is a very difficult card to deal with, and you should definitely run it in all of your ephemeral decks. And last but not least, at number 5, I've actually got 2 cards. You can either call one an honorable mention, but I couldn't really decide which one to put in, so I put both in. The first is Glimpse Beyond. This is a 2 mana fast spell that allows you to kill an ally in order to draw 2. Now, you might be thinking, why would this ever be useful? However, it has several applications. It can allow you to chump block cards such as Fiora and Braum, as you're essentially taking away them either taking damage in Braum's case or allowing Fiora to get the kill, and at the same time giving yourself 2 cards in the process. And it can also be used as a sacrifice mechanic to trigger the multitude of sacrifice-based cards in the Shadow Isles range. One of my favorites being Black Spear, the other card I want to talk about today. Black Spear is a 2 mana fast spell that allows you to deal 3 damage to any enemy unit as long as an ally died this round. Now, this may not sound like anything special, but bear in mind that this is the cheapest removal card that does this much damage, with the closest competitor being Get Excited from Piltover and Zorn, which requires you to spend 3 mana and also discard a card. And once again, a lot of key early units tend to have 3 HP, so this card is perfect for dispatching them. But there you have it. That's my top 5 cards that are currently in the game. Now, of course, the game just released and there's not too many cards at the moment, but I'm sure once Riot releases new card sets, we'll see a lot more interesting mechanics make their way into the game. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and do let me know what your favorite card is in the comments down below. And if you want to watch live Runeterra gameplay where I go over my decision making in games, as well as deck building and all that good stuff, feel free to pop over to my stream at twitch.tv/VESTMORE. This is Vest, signing off. And that is GG, if I'm not mistaken. There we are. Very nice. First win of many. First win of many. Let's go, guys. That's what it's about. All right.
I really hope you guys enjoyed that video. Remember to hit that subscribe button and also click on the little bell icon to turn on notifications so you don't miss my next upload. Also, don't forget, you can check out 269 and Paradise Central streaming over on Twitch 6 days a week. You can find a link to the multi-stream in the description box down below. Be sure to drop by and get involved. Thanks again for watching. Take it easy. Catch you next time. Peace out.